Welcome back to the 2023 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine, coverage brought to you by Hooked on Driving. Today, we have one of the worst named teams, but some of the best people here. We've got Eric and Jason with Bryan here, obviously, as always. Eric, Jason, please introduce yourselves.
Well, good afternoon, all. My name is Eric. I go by Grosper for social media. It's kind of a fun little thing since forever ago. I'm a product manager for IT Cloud Consulting, and I've been playing on the track for about 7-8 years now, and I still suck, but it's just all that fun.
Awesome. Welcome, Jason.
My name is Jason. I met Eric when I lived out in Arizona for the last 20 plus years. Huge car guy at heart. Haven't really done track days in a while, mostly autocross and stuff like that back in the day, but definitely looking forward to getting back into it. And I visited one lap last year up in Nashville, and I said, I definitely got to be a part of this. And Prosper and I talked about it a little bit last year, some off and on changes to plans, and here we are. I can't wait.
Awesome. So we've got a fairly young lap dog and a lap pup this year, which is great. I love to see new people coming in. And so, Eric, I'll start with you. Last year, you ran your own team. The year prior to that, you were a part of a team with some race car driver guy and some other people who we've talked to already. We're not important. We're worried about you right now. And Jason is here. So you've now had all of the experiences. So you started off as just sitting around, then you fielded one, and now you're bringing other people into your habit. So what keeps you coming back, and how did you convince Jason to join you this year?
You say convinced, but there was no convincing. I was like, hey, man, you want to do this? You're like, yep. So that was an easy part. So I was done deal. And then whatever, it's kind of become a tradition with my dad, right? Just doing it every year, and then me trying to improve as I go. And I've been getting the cars. I actually still working on it right now. I was in the garage when my alarm went off to hop on call, put in the splitter on the car. So I'm about to test the Aero fresh out at one lap without any other track days with it. So it'll be great. But just love doing it, man. Love experience, love meeting the people, love getting to experience new tracks and going in basically blind and surviving, right? So that's kind of where I'm at.
Nice. And Jason, so obviously now your first year, you talked to us a little bit before we started recording this here, saying, you know, you've been following the event for a long time. You've been a fan of it. What is your impression from a spectator and fan point of view versus what do you think might be different actually being in it this year? Because then we'll catch up with you after the event to say it was all lies. I don't know how they got me in. Yes.
Yeah. Grosper's right. He didn't really have to talk me into it. Luckily, I'm a car guy at heart and an idiot, and I hate money. So track days are the perfect recipe for me, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the pace of it. Obviously, getting some wheel time behind the Super is obviously a great little side point to that. But this year, I'm definitely going to take it slow. Like, I don't really plan on being on track, maybe parade laps, but I'm not really going to be doing much as far as the driving. I'm more of a support role this time. I'm a diehard front wheel guy. I have been forever. A lot of running the canyons at night, out in the desert, stuff like that. That's where my heart is, and Alabama's pretty flat, so there's not a lot of that here. So
I don't know. Barber seems to have some elevation. Bryan, what do you got?
So, Eric mentioned or Jason mentioned being in the Supra. So, Eric, tell us about the Mark V, it bringing its second year out, what you've done to the car, and what tires are you running this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So far, I did partner up with APR. They get their wing, splitter, and air dam, which again, continuously installing right now since yesterday. It's been so much fun to do chassis mounted for the first time ever. Never done it before. So got the wing kit on, or the air on, sorry. As far as tires, I'm actually doing 295, 30, 18 Polysport 4S square setup. So I'm going to have my spare tire in the trunk, because for one lappers, having a spare is a big plus. So I'm going to stick with square for now. I have a Active Outer Works downpipe, AWE tuning exhaust, Velocitech, big ram intake, Olin's coilovers, and SPL control arms, sway bar links, and sway bars.
So you've really gotten this thing dialed in, pretty ready for the track. Nice, and fairly adjustable, which is nice. Where do you think the benefits are going to be over the vehicle last year? Or what were you trying to cure from last year? Let's put it that way.
Sorry about that. Somebody decided to ring my doorbell and the dog was crazy. What was the question again?
So my question was, with the work you've done, you've obviously really been setting it up for the track and being able to adjust for the different tracks you go to. What are you anticipating being different, and or what were you trying to cure from the vehicle last year, or where did you find the need to enhance the vehicle to be more competitive?
I feel like it's needing more tire was a big difference. You know, seeing the Toyota guys out there and seeing what they can do with the Supras, and me being this little Supra last year, there's a lot of driver mod as well that I need to undergo, right? So I may or may not be trying to help myself by modifying the car, making it a little quicker itself. But at the end of the day, you know, I got more track days in, went to a couple different tracks. I went to Indy Motorsports in Wilcox, the AMP, Waterhorse Pass, and so trying to get my track days in while I can here. I mean, I've not had a chance to go to California yet, to like Winneseca or Willow, but eventually, maybe next year, get more driver mod underway. I think that's the biggest thing. Seeing other Supras out there nearly stock and absolutely smoking me, right? So lots to grow as a driver.
Absolutely, and that's always the case. Bryan, what else do you have?
No, it's your turn.
I just went. I did a follow-up to yours, so that means it's your turn now.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So Jason, what are you looking forward to the most this year? Tracks that you may not have seen that you're going to be able to see for the first time, parts of the country that you've not been to that you're going to get to see for the first time, even though it's going to be at highway speeds.
Motels that you're terrified of that you would otherwise get to stay at if not for this.
Yeah, I think Grosper did a decent job at booking hotels. From what I remember seeing, I didn't see any like, Sam's Hotel or any, little mom and pop. So I think for the most part, it'll be violence and bed bug free. Let's hope for that. As far as seeing a lot of the country, definitely I haven't been to Ohio and a couple places up there in a while. Texas, Oklahoma, I used to go there occasionally as a kid, for some family. And then I'm definitely interested to be back in the green side of the country. I relocated back to Alabama about a year ago, but I spent the last 23 years in Arizona. So it's going to be interesting actually having it rain, constantly, because as Rosper can attest, we don't really get a lot of that other than monsoon season. So it should be fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it. A couple of the tracks, I don't have the course or the course list in front of me, but I definitely saw a couple that I think are going to be fun, and I can't wait. My biggest thing is I just want to walk around the paddock and geek out on the cars. I love cars. So.
Nice. Well, it's the place to do it for sure. I know we touched on this a little bit when you were telling us about what you've put on the car, but clearly you've got some good partners in this. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the partners you have in with your build, your vehicle sponsors, as well as, and I know there's a particularly meaningful charity that you're running for this year as well. So why don't we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to basically start emailing people and like, hey man, using my social media as a way to promote their brands. So a lot of it was just me reaching out for like AWE tuning, for example. I actually found Mr. Todd on LinkedIn and sent him an inbox on there. And then he directed me to marketing people and then emailed marketing people and then kind of went from there. So I've had AWE now for my second year with that, partnering with them for the exhaust and their carbon intake from the vehicle. Mm-hmm. And Olin's was a process for sure. We're running their road and track coilovers. Yep. And so far they've been awesome. I've been able to have the adjustability because the Supra is my only car. So it's my daily race car. So being able to adjust, make it softer, dampening, because all the roads in Arizona, they're not the greatest sometimes.
Well, and if we get some wet track days, you want that a bit softer. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. So that's something that adjustability, and been able to work with them. They were always available to answer my questions, doing the install, a lot of this. I'm a YouTube mechanic, right? So I just learn as I go. Doing this first time doing the chassis splitter on this one from APR was definitely a challenge. I think I was in my garage yesterday in Arizona, and it's not conditioned for like 10 hours. So it was not great. It was not great. And I have about 4 hours into it today. So, and then as far as the American Cancer Society, right? My family, we're all very grateful because of them. My dad's, was able to have a fighting chance. So we try to push to keep raising money for them so they can continue to grow and have more of a research so more people can have the opportunity like my dad has. It's definitely been a challenging couple of years seeing my dad go through it, but that's why whenever I can take the time to go see him or hang out for a whole week and meeting people and being on track and just hanging out, we go for it. And hopefully we can raise some money and get more people cured.
Well, and it's more than that. I think it's fantastic that you and your dad get to do this. It's particularly meaningful to me as well to see you guys out there doing this. But I think more than anything, the messaging that you and your dad bring to the table when it comes to the battle there, and not even considering it a battle, just sort of pushing forward no matter what, and getting out to the track and getting out to events. And the focus isn't on, yeah, I'm sick, so what? It's more along the lines of we're out, we're having fun, come join us. And it's that mental approach which I think makes a world of difference, and that I applaud you guys for. So great job and keep it up, and I'll definitely be supporting that as well. However, I am going to lambaste you on your name though, because at least your dad's team, we talked with them already. It was friends road tripping. I get it. It's clear. We all get it. What was your name again?
Standing starts most times.
Standing starts most times.
Yep.
Terrible. So anybody who's in marketing, feel free to reach out to these fine gentlemen and let them know we need to do better. So that's the other drivers, because you could be slow, but if you've got a great looking car and a great name, nobody cares. So now you have to go faster this year because your name is terrible.
I promise nothing.
That's the spirit. Bryan, what do you got?
So Eric, everybody in the event that knows your dad, loves being able to spend the week with him. What was it like as a kid growing up in the Ramirez household?
Oh, it was fun. I grew up in Mexico myself, so it was fun being able to hang out with my dad whenever he was able to visit from the U.S. So it always had that opportunity to grow in a multicultural family, which was cool. So growing up in Mexico, but then getting my dad to come visit us and hang out, and come to us for our birthdays or take us to Orlando or just getaway trips, holidays. It was always awesome seeing such a positive attitude towards basically everything. And you guys can attest to that nowadays, right? It's been 4 years fighting cancer and still you don't really see it on him, right? And it's awesome. Like, he has that attitude that we're always right, we're always good, and we're always going to push forward. And so I'm grateful to grow, see my mom, see my dad, and just being able to, unfortunately, they made me like a really hard worker. So I never really take time off work because I always saw them working hard, and it's a double-edged sword, right? Work's not great for work, but then like even taking time off for the One Lab, it's kind of painful because I'm not used to taking time off for myself. So I have that to thank to them, given those awesome values and all that positivity overall, really.
Awesome. Well, as we start to wrap this up, let us know one thing for your team that everybody should watch out for this year, or if they see you on the road, or if they come to the track, what would you want them to either bring or say to you? What's one thing people should know? That goes for both of you. It could be bring me a Red Bull. It could be, bring clean underwear. Who knows?
Clean underwear goes a long way when you're out there and you debate between doing laundry or just stopping at Walmart and buying something to wear. Like the eternal battle is a big one.
It really depends on where you ate the night before, though.
That is true. This is true. But at least for myself, I don't know about Jason, but just come out, man. Doesn't matter if you're into cars or not. Just come meet the people. If you meet the people, you'll follow on and start to enjoy the sport, right? I feel like it's a huge thing. Like, yeah, I have an interest for the cars, we'll get you out there. But if you just put away that and you're like, you're kind of like, I kind of like cars, like just buy whatever. Just come out there, man, meet the people, enjoy and share the stuff with us, because it's an amazing time where we're all going through. It's a lot of joy, but it's also a lot of, man, I'm tired, and I'll probably sleep maybe 4 to 6 hours tonight, if that. If the car breaks, you spend the night fixing it. So I would say just come out, find a track that's near you, come say hi, come talk to us, ask away, and definitely Sugar for Rebels, 100%.
There you go. All right, Jason, apart from some Febreze, what do you need? What would you like to see?
Yeah, apparently I'm worried about my car mate. If clean underwear is going to be a problem, but I would say absolutely, I agree. Come out, have a good time, just enjoy it, see what it's all about. I can't wait. As far as drinks, can't stand Red Bull. I know it's an unpopular opinion, so sweet tea, any type of sweet tea, I'm good with that. Even though I was in Arizona forever, I'm a Southern boy. I was born in Alabama, so sweet tea's in my veins.
There you go. Well, gentlemen, thanks so much for taking the time today to join us, to let everybody know a little bit more about you, your car, your effort, what you're doing. And, they'll be able to see you or run you off of the highway when they see you on it. So whichever way that goes, it'll be fine. But we look forward to catching up with you in a few days and throughout the week. So once again, thank you. So for the 2023 Tire Rack One Lap of America presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine, I'm Solomon, along with Bryan, with Eric, and Jason. Thanks so much, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.